All right. We're rolling. Yay. Linda, take this, please. We're live. You can stand behind it and look. Look. No, no, honey. You're pointing it right at you. Linda, the camera woman, person. You know, I am not used to this boat going out so smooth now that they dredged. Like, I was totally waiting to I now know how. Honey, hold that for me, please. I now know how much muck was on the bottom of our slip, because pushing the boat out, pulling it forward, holy cow, that was the easiest it's ever been in years. I mean, I know we got the wind kind of coming from our back, but like I just pulled the boat forward and was just like, woo, it just went. So I can only imagine how much sludge and how low and shallow the slip must have been for the last 2 seasons, because that was the easiest I walked the boat out in years. Like, I almost let it go forward. I think that was the boat Jess was talking about right there. One of these, not this one, Liberty, I think it's this one, the blue. So we're off the dock finally, a little late than we thought, but we are out on Barnegat Bay, finally. So we got wind coming kind of out of the north. Seagull just pooped in the water. Very nice. Wind coming out of the north. And we can probably... Oh, it's the wrong way. Just... And then you can... You can use the joystick too. That'll turn it whichever way you want. Sunday morning, 20 after 10. A cool Sunday. And for a holiday weekend, it is pretty quiet out on the bay. We'll give it a couple more weeks and then it'll be total chaos, I'm sure. And the plan is to be out here every Sunday morning, hopefully earlier with our coffee. We did the New Jersey thing Since we don't have our solar hooked up, we decided to do the New Jersey thing and stop at Quick Chek to get our bacon, egg, and cheese croissants and coffee this morning, instead of actually making breakfast out on the boat. That'll be coming next week, maybe. Hopefully next week we got everything set up and hooked up. We only got in the water yesterday afternoon. The boat's still dirty from being at the house and all the pollen. It wasn't worth washing for the 4th time because every time I wash it, it just continues to get dirty within a day. And now we'll bring you our F Cove report. Let's see, how's F Cove looking this morning? Yeah, we got a few boats. We'll get a better shot in a second of how crowded F Cove is. We'll see what the difference is when we come back in 30 minutes or so. Plenty of spaces at the F Cove if anyone's interested. What do you think the temperature is, Linda? What do you think? What was the temperature this morning? I think it was like 55. Right now we're at about 60 maybe. You want to check your phone? Get the actual temperature? Beautiful Maniloking. Take a cruise boat. What do we got? 60? 60 degrees on Barnegat Bay on Sunday morning at 25 after 10. You know, let's shoot over by Maniloking now, instead of going around. It's over on the bay. I don't feel like gunning it all around the place. Especially since we just got out here. Make sure everything's working properly. So far everything's good. We've got our new GPS, which I'm loving. Using the old one as our depth finder and fish finder. Let Linda enjoy her coffee back there. Just checking out my handy dandy work on the table. Of course, I know I need to sand it a little bit better, but could probably use one more coat. But I'm not Norm Abram, so how's your coffee? The Quick Chek coffee report. What did you get? The Ubi Vanilla? I believe that was the name. Yes? There's people out fishing this morning. hopefully next week I've got my Osmo Pocket 3 working with YouTube Live. I didn't get a chance to really play around with it. So actually I'm going to clean the lens on this real fast. So hopefully next week that's working. So then I don't have to actually use my iPhone. I'm not so good with this DJI gyro gimbal, that's it. DJI gimbal that I'm using right now with the iPhone. But I figure this will work better than the Pocket 3 and trying to get that to work with the app and putting it through everything. So I will test that during the week, and next week we should be working much better. And I can always flip around the camera a lot easier. So once you get out here in the sun, it's nice. There is a breeze, but there's always a breeze out on the water. You know it's summertime when you get the banner towers. Summertime in Jersey. Want to take the camera for a minute or two so I can have a sip of my coffee, please? Thank you. You know, now you can feel the breeze really picking up, and the flags just went a little bit more stiff in the wind. I didn't notice it back there, but now that we just came around a little bit, now that's why. We pan over to the left to our port side. Right there is the Matineconk River, and since the wind's coming out of the north and west, we got this nice runway of water, hence the wind is definitely stronger here versus just back a couple hundred yards. It's amazing how wind just hits you right in the face now. I'm not even going to bother slowing down or stopping. The good and the bad about having a 25-foot boat. We've got a really high gunnel, so as soon as we pop neutral, we start drifting like crazy, versus these nice guys out here in a little skiff, you know, they can pop out of gear and they'll sit there. Me, I'd be in that guy's nice boat within a matter of 30 to 40 seconds. He's still got his motor on, but probably just he's not in gear, but probably just the exhaust prop wash from the drive is probably keeping him straight. we know what the weather's supposed to be for tomorrow? It's supposed to be it's supposed to be even nicer tomorrow, right? 70 tomorrow? Sunny? Who's playing down in Barnegat today? Was it Barnegat? Honey, you were the one who asked about. So next week we'll be out here, anchored out, having breakfast, maybe doing a little fishing. Looks like the ospreys are back for another season. Yeah, how big that nest is already. She's in there too. Lovely morning. I'm sure the beaches are empty. Well, the beach might be crowded. The ocean is probably empty. 60 degrees and a pretty stiff breeze. I'm sure it'd be nice for the polar bears. And by now we are up by Bay Head. Not exactly sure where the transition is, but we are definitely up by Bay Head now. And up ahead, which we will be momentarily, is the Bay Head Yacht Club. We've got another osprey nest. Another one in there. So we got a decent amount of boats fishing up here. This is usually where we like to drift for some fluke. And this is the time in the area to do it. Upper Barnegat Bay, heading towards the Point Pleasant Canal. And at the moment, we've got exactly 0 viewers, which is probably what we've had the entire time so far. Got the kids in their little sailboats. Looks like fun. I wish I could have done that when I was a kid. Looks like a good time. Get them started early. We've got the Point Pleasant Canal, the Loveland Bridge over there. And the Bay Head Yacht Club. Certainly not the Redneck Yacht Club, that's for sure. Every night they bring down the flag. They do a little trumpet thing. Not exactly sure where this guy's going. Of course, I have the right of way, but we won't let technicalities get into the picture. Actually, I take that back. Actually, well, maybe I did. No, actually, that was right. I would have, if it was at night, it's the left side of the boat, is the port side. Remember, port, just like wine, is red. So he would have been seeing my red light. And I would have been seeing his green light, his starboard side. Should we just go back by the houses again, or should we zip around? What do you think? Or do you just like taking this nice, slow stroll? I'm kind of liking the slow cruise this morning. Nice, slow Sunday leisurely cruise. Yeah, we'll stay by the houses. We'll get another shot of the beautiful homes of Bayhead and Maniloking, and we'll go under the Maniloking Bridge for a second or two. Memorial Day weekend, Sunday, the 25th of May, right? Right? 25th?
Yeah.
25th of May, only 7 months until Christmas. And we got the youngsters doing a little sailboat races, it sounded like. Heard the whistle go. And here we go again. Now we got the wind coming right up the Nautisphere River. Got that wind blowing right in your face. It's really incredible, the difference in the wind just a couple hundred yards when you're out here. It really makes a difference when you get to that open water out there. So straight out, not that you'd be really able to see it in this shot. Straight out is the Nautisphere River. Over there is so to the right is Point Pleasant. Straight ahead now is Brick. That's the Princeton Ave section. And the north part of the fork there and the south part of the fork. And then just to the right, you can see that red building in the background. Right over there is the other bridge that connects Brick over into Point Pleasant. And that will bring you up to Route 88 if you take that road over there. And Princeton Ave is also over there. It's a nice little cruise. We do it all the time. We feel like just getting out here, getting out of the wind and checking out all the homes and people on the water. It's a nice little cruise we do. What's funny is we could probably go up by the ocean. Maybe we'll do that after. And the ocean is probably flat with the wind in the direction that it's coming out of. There's probably more little white caps out here than out on the ocean right now. Yeah, let's see if we get a shot of the Osprey. Yeah, two of them in there. Hey Linda, you know what you could do on your phone? Take a decent picture that we can use for thumbnail later. I only got one by the marina and it didn't look all that great. We can upload a better shot after the fact. Try to zoom in a decent too. This is actually different. So often the wind is coming out of the south here. Since it's springtime, it's getting it out of the cool, dry northwest wind. It's certainly not humid today, that's for sure. We got a whopping 5 feet of water that we're in right now. There's a nice boat. Must be nice having a couple $100,000 worth of engines. This guy is blending right in with the water. Holy mackerel. Just chugging along. That's a nice looking boat though. Nice wooden boat. don't know if I'd want the upkeep on that. Beautiful looking. He didn't seem too friendly. Maybe he wasn't happy because he had to varnish his entire boat. Oh, check that out. The military plane's going over. Hopefully I've got those in shot. In case anybody's interested, McGuire Air Force Base is not far away from here. Talking about Osprey, I think that's what those are. Very cool. In the summertime, sometimes they practice their artillery and shelling, right? They practice their artillery and shelling, and you can actually hear the thuds at our house. All you hear is just thud, thud. The ground doesn't shake, but you can hear it for sure. Right there's Maniloking. Let me get a shot. Up by the beach. Linda, would you mind being the camera person for a few moments while I have some more coffee, please? Thank you. Unfortunately, no autopilot on this boat. And I could kick back, film, and enjoy my coffee. Got the Columbia roast at Chek. Was the sandwich good? No? Was it? Did you eat yours or no?
Yes.
What to say? Next time I'll have to have the microwave going. Hopefully my chewing and eating isn't getting picked up on the microphone. I didn't necessarily think about that. Thank you. So we got a sea ray or something coming up behind us. The lovely homes of Maniloking. Now that we got past the Matineconk River, the wind is definitely a little lighter. And yes, I was correct. We got the 40-foot sea ray. We got a bridge opening for the sailboat. I just love being out here. Even if it's not a day you'd want to be in a bathing suit and jump in the water. I can only imagine what the crowds are like right now. Waiting for breakfast over in Lavalette. Maybe we'll go up by the beach for another quick live video. Maybe next week we'll do that. We'll do it the other way around. Go up by the beach first, do a quick live from the beach. Make sure everything's working. So that if anybody's interested in what the beach looks like early in the morning, what the ocean's looking like, do that. And then come out on the boat for breakfast. No AI here, that's for sure. Nothing artificial about this. And a few more boats have definitely showed up at the F Cove. Getting a little bit more crowded. Now that we're at 11 a.m. on Sunday. A few more boats at the F Cove. There's our marina, Traders Cove, and coming up on the Maniloking Bridge. Oh, we only got 28 feet of clearance. I don't know if we're going to need a bridge opening. Ha ha, chuckles. And over there is the Manaloking Yacht Club. And Barnegat Bay Marina over there. The old Manaloking Bridge, now a fishing pier. So that's what the Manaloking Bridge used to look like. All the pilings used to go right across the water. Kind of like the old Seaside Heights Bridge. And there's a Barnegat Bay. Straight out, Tom's River. Further to the south would be the Route 37 bridge into Seaside. And actually I can see it from here. There's a lovely Sabre yacht right there. About the fourth boat in. That boat's for sale because I saw it on Yacht World. I think it's either a Sabre 38 or a Sabre 42. I don't exactly remember. The only thing I do remember, it was out of our price range. And I think it had pod drives, which I'm not interested in. But straight shaft diesels. So unfortunately, if we ever get a newer yacht one day or a boat and it's a Sabre, it's going to have to be a 2008 or older, because after 2008, Sabre went with all pod drives. What a shame. So if you want a straight shaft diesel Sabre yacht, 2008 or older is what you're looking at. I think one of their bigger ones, they didn't change over till a year or so later, but that was like it might have been a 48 or a 50. I think I've seen a 2009 or a 2010. It was probably a leftover or some build they were already doing, because 2008 is basically the cutoff for straight shaft diesels on a Sabre. And back, coming up on the Manaloking Bridge. Of course, we just had the bridge opening and closing, so now we got a little bit of traffic building up. Not too bad though for a Sunday on a holiday weekend at 11. We've seen this traffic go back miles down Manaloking Road. And sometimes we're stuck in it trying to get to the marina. I guess we'll head on in. Took a nice little 1-hour cruise out here. It's amazing how fast this goes. Yeah, we're going on 43 minutes already. I'm sorry, 53 minutes already. I said, Linda, you can probably take this in a minute or two when we head back in. Be the camera person. And I bring us into dock. In the stiff wind, this should be fun. Because as soon as I go in reverse, we're going to get pulled to port. And the wind is coming out of the northwest. Now it looks like it's coming right out of the west. So we're going to be going sideways coming in as soon as I go into reverse. Single screw boat. No bow and stern. No bow or stern thrusters on this baby. Is all just 20 plus years of being on my boat. Doesn't matter how many times you do it. Whenever there's wind, it's always a treat. So, we've got 5 feet of water right now. And they dredged our marina last fall. So let's see what kind of depth we've got coming in. I think we had like a good 6 feet, which is nice. When we went in yesterday, it was a breeze also, but maneuvering was so much easier. It's a lot easier to maneuver a boat when not grounding out. We still got 4.5, 4.4, 4.3, 4.5, 4.6. I think that's Steve over there, giving us a wave. All right, Linda. Linda, can you grab this, please? TJ! Good morning. Reflection in the mirror is always a good day. Exactly. All right, we still got 5 feet on the depth finder. That's nice. .6, 5.4, all right. The great thing about yesterday when we pulled in was, I'm not going to play around with this today either, was when we were going in reverse, I didn't actually see any mud for once. I can feel that wind starting to hit the bow of the boat. But I'll tell you what, it's certainly a lot easier to come in I'm just going to put it in drive and bump it up. I got it, Linda. I hope. Woohoo! There we go. Not bad. Wow! I handle this boat a lot better when I'm not grounding out, and the prop actually does what it's supposed to do. How many times last year when we're coming in, it's like woo, woo, and all you see is mud kicking up. I was going to say, I didn't think my captaining skills got worse over the years. I thought they got better. For some reason, the last 2 years, every time we came in, it just seemed like I was fighting the wind coming in, docking. But apparently, the real issue was the boat was grounded out. Right. Not bad. So, almost 1 hour. We're back at our dock. Of course, the boat is dirty as hell. But that's why we're here now. Time to wash. So, until next week. Until next week, Captain John from Nautisphere out. And we'll be out on the water. And then we'll have a warm sandwich next week. Hot breakfast. Instead of a cold sandwich from Chek. Ciao, everyone.